The Indigenous Legal Needs Project is collecting information about the civil and family law needs of Indigenous people around the country. We're doing this with the help of Legal Aid and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander legal services, and with funding from the Australian Research Council. The project is travelling to 32 Indigenous communities across Victoria, the Northern Territory, Western Australia and Queensland. This video talks about the 8 communities visited in Victoria. At each place we travel to, we talk with elders, young people, men and women, and with local services. We're learning about what civil and family law problems people need most help with, and the best way people can get this help. Civil and family law issues are not the same as criminal problems. When we talk about civil and family law, we mean things like government taking kids away, getting evicted from your home, applying for a job but not getting it because you're Koori, or being threatened by debt collectors. Civil and family law problems can affect our home, our families, our finances and our health, especially when we don't know what to do about them. Through the work we're doing, we want to increase people's awareness of their rights and of how to deal with problems they're having. Our goal is to help improve people's quality of life and to build stronger communities. People in Victoria all had different stories to tell about problems they faced, but the things most people talked about were housing, credit and debt, discrimination and neighbours. More people spoke about housing as a problem than any other issue. Just under half of all community members we talked with said that they've had trouble with their tenancy. This was mainly about repairs and maintenance, paying rent, overcrowding and not having a house to live in.
I've got a 1-bedroom flat and I've got people there all the time. Bodies on the floor all the time. They sleep in the laundry and all. Sometimes you get 3, sometimes you get 15. Sometimes you get 1. I'm never alone.
1 in 3 people had a problem with credit and debt, mostly because they couldn't pay a bill or loan. Sometimes this happens when people don't know about their rights as consumers.
One of the uncles, he signed about 6 contracts with the electricity mob. You know, they come around knocking on the door. You get that call, the door knocking. You get people try and confuse them and get them to sign up. This guy had contracts all over the place.
Nearly 1 in 3 people said they were discriminated against because they are Aboriginal, usually in shops or employment.
You ring up about jobs and they say, "Oh yeah, that sounds good. Give us some information about your background, some work you've done." And as soon as you go in there for an interview and fill in some forms, their attitudes change.
Just over 1 in 4 people had a problem or argument with neighbours.
I pulled up and there was a guy next door in the driveway and I got out of the car and he goes, "I hear a black woman is moving in here." And I had one of my daughters with me and she is pale and she's got blonde hair. And I said, "Yeah, actually, that would be me." And he sort of looked me up and down and said, "I hope you are not going to be as bad as the last one here."
Other things people talked a lot about are child protection, Centrelink, wills, and victims' compensation. Child protection is a priority legal issue because people think that too many kids are being removed. They say this is happening without parents getting legal advice first. They also think that it happens without the Department of Human Services, or DHS, following their own rules and guidelines for removing children.
The law says there must be a decision-making process involving the community when removing kids. It says must. It doesn't say may, but DHS don't do it.
3 out of 4 people were receiving money from Centrelink, and nearly 1 in 4 of them said they've had a dispute with Centrelink. Mostly, this is about being overpaid or underpaid.
This older lady has a Centrelink debt. She's declared her income because she was working, but Centrelink wanted a yearly amount and she put it in weekly amounts. So now she's got a massive debt just because she didn't understand how it was. She'll never pay this debt off.
Only about 1 in 20 people have completed a will, but over half of those who didn't have a will said they would like help to draw one up. Problems people have when a family member has died without a will include arguments about money and burial. 1 in 5 people have been the victim of a violent crime in the last couple of years, but only just over 1 in 5 of these people had applied for victims' compensation. In most cases, Aboriginal people didn't get any help with these problems, so only about 1 out of 10 people had help with discrimination or Centrelink disputes. People may not know their rights. They may not know they can get help or where to go for it. They could also be worried about speaking out. People suggested ways to improve how these issues are dealt with, including a bigger focus on civil and family law by better funded legal services, more community education about these problems and how to fix them, more help available outside of Melbourne, and legal and other services working together more effectively to help communities and individuals. Thank you for watching our video. For more information on our project, please visit our website or Facebook page. Remember, if you need help with the legal problem, there are legal services available to give advice.